structure. But wait a minute, what did we say earlier? You can't build a giant organization on a flimsy structure. So let's use the road to the sale as a structure and then use our brain to make it bigger than it is. Because the bigger you make it, the bigger it is. We know that, right? Meet and greet. And I always thought that was really important, to meet somebody and to greet them. I never ever got anybody to tell me what the difference between meeting and greeting was, but the crazy thing about 2024 and 2025 and 2026 is the meet and greet doesn't have to be where I'm standing outside in the weather and I'm waiting some random person to pull in my dealership that I have no idea who they are and jog out there with this giant smile and go, welcome to the dealership. Because now people search online. We have a lead on somebody. All the leads we get, we don't turn into show-ups at the dealership. It's very small number. If you look at 100% of the leads, you know, the average dealership is somewhere between 8 and 15% of leads to show up, and it's even smaller on the people that actually buy. If we get them to come in, they're usually going to buy the product because they know we have it. So my meet starts digitally. Should I produce a video, introduce myself? So what is the most important thing that I can say to a customer in this meet and greet or introduction phase? The most important thing is, my name is KC. I've been assigned to your account. I'm super excited to work for you in person. Here's my contact information. Please reach out to me the way you're most comfortable. So what I've done is I've basically said, I will give you my time and I will answer your questions the way you want to. You've reached out to me digitally. I will be digital. So now I've introduced myself, which I think is the most important thing. When I was taught way back, I was taught to walk out, put my hand out with a cheesy smile and go, welcome to the dealership. I'm KC and you are, and you don't let go of their hand until they tell you your name. Well, the crazy thing about what I'm going to do today in introducing this as we go into a multi-part series is I'm going to say, first of all, I have the ability to introduce myself to people that may or may not ever come to the dealership. But the better my video or digital focus is, the more information that I can give them about the dealership, the brand, and me before they choose where they're actually going to shop physically for the vehicle, the better chance I have to direct them to me. Not to the dealership, not to the brand, but to me. Why am I the expert? What can I give them that they don't already have? So the first thing I have to do is I have to start a conversation. And that conversation does not need to be in person. In fact, you're better off if you start the conversation digitally. So meet the customer, greet the customer, and sell the commodity that they can't. I know there's 15 Corollas. I just said that. There's only one of you. So when I've eliminated that I want a Corolla, I'm going to buy a Corolla, a white LE. That's done. Now what I have to decide is where I'm going to buy it and who I'm going to buy it from. And so that's the whole purpose of the digital meet and greet. Now, if we go back and we're standing outside because we don't have that client base that we're building up digitally because that's not the way you do business, and there's people out there like that's fine. I still need people to greet the traffic. Then you need to work out some kind of greeting. And my greeting has always been that I am assigned to you. I don't want to sit there and go, how can I help you? I'm just looking is what you're going to get. I mean, why would you not just have a sign that says, I know you're just looking? Because that's what they're going to say. So I know what they're going to say. So I walk up and I go, hey, welcome to the dealership. Now that you've arrived, I'm actually assigned to take care of you today, answer all your questions, and show you product. And so I want to tell them up front what my job is and what my dealership has hired me for so that I can eliminate the basic brushaways. I'm just looking. I'm not really in the market. I'm just shopping around. I actually made a wrong exit. I was actually going to lunch. I didn't mean to be here, whatever they say. So you got the two meet and greets. You got a digital or physical meet and greet. Counsel and qualify. The word qualify is harsh. But I'm not talking about qualify financially. My assumption is anybody that comes into the dealership can buy a car. Why is that an assumption? I've had people that have had bad credit or had no money or had no ability with the income to be able to buy a product, and the next day they show up with their parent and buy a product. So there's always a way to buy a product, and the giveaway is, don't tell anybody I'm saying this, but the giveaway is they actually showed up in a car. And so I hate to assume, but I assume since they showed up in a car, they have either that is their car or they know somebody that has been able to purchase a car. So each and every person that shows up or each and every person that reach out to me digitally, I assume qualifies to buy the car. So when I say counsel and qualify, I'm not talking about qualify to purchase. I'm talking about what have you done? What do you know? Where has your research led you? Why did you select to look at a Toyota product? Why did you select our dealership? All of these things make a big difference if I know these things up front. So counsel is, I want to let them know. If you had to go to court, it would be really stupid to go to court without a lawyer. So that's a counselor. So what is the lawyer there for? The lawyer is there for to steer you in a direction to make sure that you know all the facts and to represent you. Well, that's who I am. I am your automotive representative, and I would really prefer not to just sell you one car. I would really prefer to be your family's car person for the rest of your car buying life. And, I don't have a problem telling somebody that up front. Some people do. Some people are so worried about missing a car deal that they can actually dismiss a customer from the dealership. Assume they're going to buy from you. Why would they go somewhere else? If you don't have a giant self-image of yourself, if you don't believe that you're the best that you possibly can be, then there's room to work, right? So counsel, I'm your representative, I'm your counselor, and qualify, let me find out why you're here and what research you've done, because you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to compliment you on your research. Now the customer says, you know what, KC, I'm looking at a car for my kid, and it's going to be a Corolla LE. I'm going with white because I think it's got the best resale value. So obviously they've done some research and they realize that white cars usually hold more value because they can be brought back to next to new. And I'm sitting there going, okay, I got somebody that knows what they're doing, and that's good. And they're buying the car for their kid. So I don't know how emotionally tied I can get them to a Corolla because it's not going to be theirs. But are there things that we know that we don't have to assume? A couple of things. I need to know if it's going to be college. Are they leaving? Are you buying it as a gift? Will they be local? So I need to make sure the child, the person that's going to drive the car knows how to service the car. So now I have an opportunity to be able to long-term relationship with the car owner, which will be their child. And I want to make sure that dad or mom understand that I'm going to be there to make sure they understand how to maintain the car, how to work the car, because there's so many cool things about a car that weren't around 20 years ago. I want to make sure that they get the most out of the car, and I want them to be safe. What does safe mean? Absolutely, in a crash test, I want somebody to be safe in a crash. I don't want them to crash. That's the first thing. So is there ways to avoid a crash? Absolutely. Also, I don't really want them texting while they're driving. And all of us see it. It is so funny. We just texted 10 minutes ago, and then we see somebody else texting, and it wears us out. But the crazy thing about it is, I've got the ability to hands-free. I can say, I can talk to my phone. My phone can read my text messages. I don't have to have the phone in my hand. And so what I need to be is I need to be that liaison on how to be able to use the technology in a car. I want it to be done safely, and I want the parent to know that my job is once they give me the owner, which will be their child, that I'm still responsible for them, and I'd like to sell them every car they buy. I don't care where they move in the United States, I can supply them a car. It seems heavy in the beginning, doesn't it? It seems heavy, doesn't it? But how many people just start out and walk out there and say, Howard, what are you looking for? And if they don't buy, they blame it on the customer. Every single person that gives me a moment of their time is a gift. And so I'm gonna reward that customer for showing up or digitally reaching out to the dealership by doing everything I can to make sure that I have a long-term business relationship with them. I know I keep coming back to them, but that's how you grow. If you're a Justin Luttrell, Justin for Cars, if you're a Superman Tony, if you're a Jerry Sabanda that averages over 70 to 80 cars a month and everything, you're not doing that by doing a traditional road to the sale. You're doing that by creating a road to the sale that doesn't ever end. That's the highway that doesn't ever end because the customers keep coming back.